On Sunday, July 7, 2019, at the New Land in Taiwan, also known as Formosa, our beloved Supreme Master Chinghai read 2 stories from the book about the venerated Lord Mahavira, detailing his pure focus on asceticism and enduring compassion during his journey towards full enlightenment. They were Quashing of the Flames and Torture by Kalahasti.
So these stories I am reading to you are not all of his life, okay? Bear in mind that the life of any master are never to be completed in one book or any books. Doesn't matter how many, okay? These are, I think they just pick out the main events or whatever event that has been passed down.
In the Torture by Kalahasti story, Lord Mahavira and his companion Goshalak were wrongly accused of unlawful activities and tortured at the village of Kalambuka. When the elder brother of the ruling siblings of Kalambuka saw the 2 monks, he realized the gentle ascetic was a former prince and son of King Siddhartha.
So he came closer and closer and recognized that the person in bondage was none else but really Prince Vardaman, who had become a Shraman, monk, right? Yeah. They either call them Shraman or Swami or Yogi. Yeah, okay. So he fell at the feet of Mahavira and with tears of repentance in his eyes, he begged to be forgiven. I wanted to cry myself. Oh, humans, my God, when will they ever wake up? When released, Mahavira resumed his journey. Do nothing else, just continue walking. Go somewhere else. All right, my God, I told you, in the course of human spiritual history, I have not read any story of sacrifice and endurance and suffering like this from Lord Mahavira. Hardly any story has so much repeated suffering like this. Have you heard any more than I read here? No, huh? Still more to come. Okay, next time, huh?
After the lecture, our most gracious master invited Supreme Master TV staff to have dinner with her. During the joyous occasion, Master emphasized her sincere appreciation of the Supreme Master television staff and workers from around the world, and also shared some valuable advice.
All of you, okay? Take good care of yourself before it becomes bad. Above all, take good care of your purity inside. Inside, if you are pure, you can overcome many sickness, many obstacles, many problems. Okay? Many karma as well. Because most of karma, Master took care already. Just have a little bit. So make sure if you're pure inside, dedicate your life, truly. Just want to drag that Maya down and throw him inside the pit somewhere. That's what we should do. Bring him down. Yeah. And lift the world up. Yeah. Just keep that thing only in mind. Nothing else, okay? Everything else can come and go, real or fake, but your goal stays. Kick the Maya, lift the world. We can change our destiny if we're determined to reach the noble goal that we want to reach. Really, we can, okay? And if we cannot, at least we have reached this noble goal to die for and to die with. Nothing else really worth living for. I'm not living for anything else. I live for that only. For the world's wellness, for the animal suffering to lessen. I don't live for anything else. Truly like that. And the gods know I spoke the truth. The gods are my witness.
After the dinner filled with love and laughter, Master spontaneously invited staff to her cave. As Master worked, staff sat quietly in gratitude and in awe of her focus, inspiring them to be ever more diligent and to fully put their heart and soul into what they do.
I love animals.
called like Chiu. Reason to hold several roles of acting.
I really am very happy with the animal clips by now on our TV because it's really touching. So many times, oh, so cute, so lovely. It really, truly will make people love the animals more, I think, no?
Yes.
It must affect somewhere, right?
Yes.
It must affect a lot of people, especially people if they don't know about animals before. So they must know now, right? Like animals are so lovely and harmless and so beautiful. Especially those rescue scenes, you know, the dog rescue the cat or other, even gorilla. They rescue the bird drowned in his pool. Oh my God, who taught them all this? Nobody taught them. They are just kind and loving.
Most merciful Master, we are deeply grateful for your boundless compassion towards all creation and your unwavering fortitude to save all beings. In heaven's love, we humbly wish you further success on your meditation retreats. May Master always be in excellent health, safeguarded by the benevolent goddesses. For the full broadcast of this lecture by Supreme Master Chinghai and other occasions, please tune in to Between Master and Disciples at a later date.
On Sunday, July 14, 2019, our beloved Supreme Master Chinghai gave a lecture on a variety of topics to our fortunate Kuan Yin practitioners at the new land in Taiwan, also known as Formosa. One of the first things Master happily shared is how our planet is improving.
Yeah, our world is getting better, yes. And many animals' laws are being proposed or being implemented and maybe being practiced a little bit somewhere. But that's already a very good step. I say they should practice it. Some governments, you know, some nations already advocate and put it into laws to protect animals. But just one more step, then is ban altogether any killing of animals or torturing animals in animal factories, for example. So I think the governments of these countries who advocate for animals' laws and protections are very, very good already. Yeah. Maybe one day they will ban altogether any form of torture or killing of any kind. Then it would be perfect. Yes, I will give that country hundreds of shining world leadership award for compassion, for love, for wisdom, for a hero, for whatever, the best. And I hope other countries also follow suit to make more laws to protect the weak and innocent, and as well as to implement it, to practice it. Nowadays, we advertise on our TV that immigrants are really good contributors to any society's economy. Everybody welcomes refugees, every country taking in more immigrants, and the law has become more relenting. Yeah, wonderful. I love it so much. Our society, our world, getting better all the time. In all aspects. A lot of vegan food everywhere, vegan restaurants are mushrooming everywhere. Vegan distributors, vegan producers are mushrooming all over the planet. And soon we will not be able to find any meat eater here, and that's what I like to see. Yeah. I hope and I think sooner or later, everyone on this planet will realize that they're doing wrong by killing weaker and meeker beings to eat. Animals, they're defenseless. They're harmless. So this is the act of immoral to begin with. Not to talk about spiritual practice or merit or heaven's rewarding or nothing. It's immoral to harm someone who is weaker than you. who is defenseless, who is innocent, and who is harming you in no way. Any civilization should be based on this and nothing else. Then our world will be a paradise.
Our most gracious Master also revealed the percentage of sincere spiritual practitioners in our meditation group.
60+% are good, truly, sincerely want to go home and to practice goodness and to hear the truth and try to implement the truth in their lives. 60-some%. I'm very, very lucky and very grateful indeed, okay? And the other 30+% are not so, okay? Either they just join for fun, or just have nothing else to do, or just shop around, or just come in to make trouble, or just to like the crowd, just to like to be with the crowd. Also, maybe just to profit from like good energy, but not doing anything to contribute to it. On the contrary, damaging it somehow, okay? So for the sake of the majority, I was, since a few months, and from now on also, I will screen out as much as I can. Understand? To protect the majority of people who are really worthy of heaven's grace and blessing and my time. For these people, I do not reject them outright. Just they should practice at home or in some smaller centers where they don't affect too much the outcome of your practice. And my sincere dedication to offer you what I know. Understand? So anyway, they have got initiation. They're free to do what they want to do with it. But they are not free to come to the big assembly and making trouble. Yeah, and ruin our atmosphere and damage your practice result. You agree with that? Okay.
Another topic Master spoke about was the 4 kinds of beings that live in our lives: friends, neutral beings, obvious enemies, and secret enemies.
In the Feng Shui school, they teach you to recognize enemies, like anyone next to you always make you angry, sometimes for reason or for no reason. They call them evil person. Yeah, and they advise you to avoid them if you can. But if they are your family members, then good luck. There are 4 types of beings who will be around you. The first type is very lucky for us if we have. They call friends. It could be your family members, your son, your husband, your wife, your sister, your brother, your cousin, okay? So friend is good for you. You will notice that they are very helpful to you, very coordinate with you. When you're with them, it's smooth sailing, okay? Of course, they are not perfect, yeah? You have to watch more closely what they do for you, how you feel when you're with them, how they tell you the truth for your own good, but not arguing over petty things. How every time you're in trouble and they are around, the trouble seems to be solved or lessened, okay? And of course, enemy is the opposite.
To further learn about all the 4 types of beings around us, as well as the other topics covered, be sure to watch Between Master and Disciples at a future time. Our joyous and deepest gratitude to our beloved Master for always taking care of our spiritual needs and truly transforming our world into a better place for all beings. We earnestly hope and pray to the heavens that all our Kuan Yin sisters and brothers become diligent, sincere meditation practitioners for the benefit of all. For the full broadcast of this lecture by Supreme Master Chinghai, please tune in to Between Master and Disciples at a later date.
On Saturday, July 20th, 2019, our Kuan Yin practitioners at the New Land in Taiwan, also known as Formosa, were once again fortunate enough to see and listen to our beloved Supreme Master Chinghai read from the book about the venerated Lord Mahavira. This time, Master expounded on the chapter called The Embodiment of Love, in which the gentle ascetic meditated in a desolate forest inhabited by a demon serpent.
The black giant serpent came out of its hole, hissing fiercely. It had seen a human being after a long time. The man was standing firm and fearless with closed eyes. Oh, he didn't like that. The serpent never saw such a man like that. The serpent was very surprised. Yeah. It looked at Mahavira with its venomous eyes. Venomous eyes.
After the serpent did its utmost to attack, poison, and cause grievous harm to Lord Mahavira, the benevolent saint remained standing, unmoved. With all love, he said to the serpent,
Open your inner eyes, yes. Be calm and remember your past life. Do not inject venom of anger in your life. Rise above the deadly poison of anger. And then Mahavira opened his ambrosia-filled eyes, full of sweet nectar, or the eyes filled with love. So when the serpent met his gaze, it felt as if a wave of peace and tranquility had engulfed its inner self.
Interspersed throughout the reading, our most patient Master revealed some spiritual gems for our meditation practice and protection, as well as common sense advice.
Look into the third eye of every being, That will bless them and keep you also safe from their influence. You just have to also protect yourself. You can forgive a tiger or a snake for biting you, but please don't come and say, I forgive you, touch his head, and say, I forgive you, or bring him home to show that you're really tolerant and have a good heart. You have to combine love and wisdom. Capito? Capish? And by the way, I tell you again, one of our sisters, she could not eat because whenever she eats, she has some stomach pain. And I say, why didn't you go to doctor? She said, oh, it's just karma. Karma until she became so skinny already. Cannot do that, okay? Maya created karma. But God created doctors and medicine. I keep telling you since 3 decades already that you have to go to see doctor if you're sick. In the physical world, we use physical means always to take care of physical things. And sometimes when it's really necessary, when it really doesn't work well, then we can pray, of course. Prayer is always necessary, whether or not you use physical means, okay? Always necessary. We need the help of heavens, yeah? But we, because we're in this physical body, we need to also exert our own power of the mind, the brain, and the physical body, okay? Don't just always rely on heaven. Heaven cannot help you to drive the car, okay? You are eating your food, so heaven don't help you to eat it. So why should heaven help you in other things? Understand? Heaven, of course, helps you to maybe have better digestion. If you pray and you give thanks before you eat, that's the thing to do, okay? To purify your food, that they can do. Invisible help, they give to us, yeah? But physical obligation, physical duty, we have to fulfill, understand? Yes. Heavens can bless, but we humans must also do something according to the situation, according to our job, according to our mission. Don't everything just rely on heaven. We must also help heaven to bless our world, okay? And then we also profit because we live here. If the atmosphere, the energy is good around us, then we also feel good. So to bless our world, we have to work with heaven by our physical means, by meditating, by doing good, by helping each other, okay? And by thanking God also, and praying for the best of all beings on this planet, and meditate.
After the lecture, a couple of our fellow Chinese Association members shared some exceptional news from China.
然后我回去7天闭关之后，我就是打开无意看那个新闻，一看，哎呦，中国中央电视台播吃素、环保、救地球，还有救动物。
哇哦，谢谢中国，哎，谢谢中央政府了。
对，
谢谢大陆的政府。
他们还提倡要保护动物，因为动物也是有生命的。
好不得了，中国现在是带领力量很大吗？
在大陆嘛，我小孩2个，一个高中，一个小学。那他学校就应教育部的要求嘛，学校给孩子们全校开那种动员大会，就鼓励孩子们多吃素，讲这个素食对环境有多重要。2个小孩回来都有跟我说，妈妈，因为他们2个也有业习，我们学校有正式公开讲这个概念，对，然后每个学校都会给孩子们就强调这件事情。
对他们很健康呢，小病呢，对国家不用花那么多钱。
对，
治病啊，
就有强调很清楚，这个对地球很重要。
哦，太好了！如果有机会的话，汪师傅，谢谢。政府
好的，
大陆的政府，我非常感恩。
谢谢师父。
不是救地球而已，养小孩健康。因为如果小孩啊或是人民健康的话，国家省百千万亿钱呐。
Most gracious Master, we dearly love you and are forever grateful for your precious time. Whether reading and explaining stories about past benevolent saints, divulging spiritual information and advice, or telling jokes to lighten the atmosphere, all for the benefit of our spiritual practice and to help us become enlightened, virtuous beings. May Master always be healthy, strong, and protected in the heavens' brilliant love. For the full broadcast of this lecture by Supreme Master Chinghai, please tune in to Between Master and Disciples at a later date.
On Sunday, July the 28th, 2019, our beloved Supreme Master Chinghai gave an impromptu lecture to our fortunate Kuan Yin fellow practitioners at the Hong Kong Center. After the recent unrest in the region, Master mentioned why she traveled to Hong Kong.
Since I came to Hong Kong, I tried to spread a lot of love around where I live. And that will calm down your place a little bit. I'm trying to do my best for the rest of my time on this planet. And all of you also, okay? Do your best. Meditate as much as you can. Because there's nothing else better to do with your precious time as a human on the planet, okay, huh? And also, help each other, please, help each other. Not only the person receives the benefit of your love, but you yourself also benefit from it. Anytime you help someone else, any other beings also, unconditionally, you rise up. Your soul rise up. Your noble quality rise up. Your love expand. Any love, unconditional love, is always beneficial to you, to your family, and to the world. Huh? I like to stay as long as possible, just to help the world. Especially to stop the killing karma, so that the world became peaceful, loving place for everyone to stay.
Master then briefly spoke about what the world will be like if peace and love prevail.
If we make this world a vegan and peace world, then the beings born in the next generation will be higher level of consciousness, and they will have less problems. Yes, where we have higher tech. We could even create superhuman gene, superhuman DNA. Then we will not possibly be sick ever again, or we live very long life. For that goal, we are working right now. I'm working for that. Actually, we can do all that. Only if the atmosphere of the world are peaceful, natural, and benevolent.
After one of our association members explained her struggle to step outside of her home due to feeling uncomfortable, Master gave an example of her recent experience in Hong Kong, sharing her pure, unconditional love and happiness with hotel staff, taxi drivers, and even women escorts, reminiscent of Lord Jesus' compassionate manner towards ostracized women.
The other day I had to go and change some money. Yeah, I went with one of your brothers. I don't know anything about Hong Kong. And so we went to change money. I had to pass through some nightclub. And there was some girl, three, four girls sitting in front of that nightclub door, you know. And you know the way they wear, you know, you know who they are. And there's a mama son also sit together with them.
Master asked them for directions to the money exchange place, and the mama-san, or the lady in charge of the women escorts, told her the way. On the way back, Master lovingly offered them some food.
And then I said, I'm going to eat some Indian food now. Would you like some? And the mama-san said, no. You don't bother. You don't have to bother. I said, no, I like to. I like to give to the girls. All the girls said, yes. Please. This is how you spread love, okay? Unconditionally. You don't have to buy things and give it to them like me, like that. But be friendly and loving to all, okay? I know who they are, okay? I know what they do. But I respect and love them just the same as I respect and love you. I have not one nanocentimeter of difference between them and you. So make sure you go out. If you have to go out, or you don't make excuse to go out if you don't want to, of course, but you go out when you have to. Live a normal life, okay? My heart is pure wherever I go. Yeah, I go to different places. If I have to go, I just go. And I go some places that are not, you know, like good girl style, like good family, like places, but I do go. I go make them happy. Yeah, make people feel that, okay, at least their life is not all that hopeless and miserable. Somebody still love them and respect them as a human.
In speaking of giving tips to hotel staff, taxi drivers, or giving food to the women, Master explained the following.
If I can afford it, you know, I give them tip, good tip, you see, so why not? Nah? I give tip not because of money, but to spread love, okay? In physical means, so that Hong Kong have more peace, more love. It's not the money that I give, it's the love and the peace through that gift. You understand? It's not the food that I bring to them, it is the love that I give also.
Our eternal gratitude, beloved Master, for your loving strength, everlasting patience, and constant fortitude to continue helping uplift all beings on our planet and beyond. Our world is a brighter, much better place because of you. We are forever grateful to all the heavenly beings and the mighty Goddess for safeguarding our most precious Master. For the full broadcast of this lecture by Supreme Master Chinghai, please tune in to Between Master and Disciples at a later date.
On Sunday, August 4, 2019, our beloved Supreme Master Chinghai graciously shared precious time to read from the book about the venerated Lord Mahavira to our fellow Kuan Yin practitioners at the new land in Taiwan, also known as Formosa. Just after beginning the chapter called Saving Goshalak, Master reminded us to always think and speak positively.
Change the habit, okay, of negative thinking and expression. Make it positive all the time. Even if it doesn't work, you lose nothing. At least somebody hears something positive next to you, they're happy. What for saying some negative things, even when it doesn't happen? So we should just always say something good, hoping it will come true. We don't care if it comes true or not. Life goes on. And we'll be happy, to live the way it is.
Master also spoke about climate change and how the spread of veganism is affecting our planet in a beneficial way.
Recently, in last few years, many unprecedented heat waves, they kill people in Europe. Too hot. People are not used to it. And so now many countries are very alarmed right now. They know climate change is truly here, has been here already and continue to be here. Even United Nations declare climate emergency. Leaders of many nations do that and try very hard to think of the way to curb the rising temperatures. It's already rise 1 degree or 1.5 degrees. And it's already like that. Imagine if 2 degrees more, 3 degrees, 4, 5, we are finito. The children of our later generations will be really hard hit. If any parents really love their children and their grandchildren, they should be vegan by now. That's the fastest way. You see, at the moment, not 100% vegan in the whole world yet, but the trend is rising, And you can see the immediate effect already that the ocean is empowered to take in more CO2. And the forests are also empowered to take in more CO2. This is very paradoxical because if it's too hot, how can the ocean even take in more CO2? Yes, if it's too hot, how can the ocean take in more CO2? Because according to scientific recorded research, when the ocean is heated or hotter than usual, it will emit even more CO2. And this is contrary to logic and reason, that as the climate climbs up, the ocean now is taking more CO2. You understand? It is the blessing of the compassionate energy. Okay, it's a blessing from heaven and of the humans change into a more loving, benevolent way of life. This is very obvious proof already. It's taking in more now to help the planet, to help humans. That is no doubt in response to the compassionate way of life that the humans are in the process of implementing. Very good. Every day I watch, whenever I can, I watch SMTV. I saw the change. I saw the vegan trend is keep rising up. Oh, my heart feels so good. Not as good as it should be because I want it faster. You know my temperamento. Yeah, but still it's better than nothing. And I hope people will change quicker for the generations after our generation.
At a speech on September 10, 2018 at UN headquarters, His Excellency Antonio Guterres delivered a speech on climate change and his vision for the 2019 Climate Change Summit.
Climate change is the defining issue of our time, and we are at a defining moment. We face a direct existential threat. Climate change is moving faster than we are, and its speed has provoked a sonic boom SOS across our world. And that is why today I'm appealing for leadership from politicians, from business and scientists, and from the public everywhere. We have the tools to make our actions effective. Dear friends, let there be no doubt about the urgency of the crisis.
In a letter to the cable news network CNN, dated May 21, 2019, His Excellency Keith Claudius Mitchell, the Prime Minister of Grenada, wrote,
"Where the international community once talked of urgency, let us now be clear. This is an emergency. For us in the islands, climate change is indeed an existential threat."
On May 1, 2019, the UK became the first country in the world to formally declare a state of environmental and climate emergency. British Labour Party leader Jeremy Corbyn said,
"We have no time to waste. We are living in a climate crisis that will spiral dangerously out of control unless we take rapid and dramatic action now. This is no longer about a distant future. We're talking about nothing less than the irreversible destruction of the environment within our lifetimes of members of this House."
We have a climate crisis that is a planetary emergency.
We may be at the point of no return. Our small low-lying islands will be submerged. It's an issue of human survival. If the world community, the different countries don't kick the carbon habit, there will be other countries next on the line.
There are at least 18 islands submerged around the world. Lohachara, India, 10,000 residents affected. Bedford, Kavaskadi, Suparabanga Islands near India, 6,000 families affected. Chesapeake Bay in Maryland, USA, 13 islands. Kiribati, 3 atolls. Half of Bangladesh's Bola Island permanently flooded, 500,000 people affected. 7 islands in Manus, a province of Papua New Guinea. Once inhabited islands in the Niger Delta region. Islands sinking or at risk from rising sea levels.
Over 40 nations.
Some 50 other islands jeopardized in the India, Bangladesh, Sundarbans, with a population of 2 million. Kutubdia in southeastern Bangladesh lost over 200,000 residents, with remaining 150,000 likely soon to depart.
etc. In a letter to respected COP21 world leaders in Paris, France in 2015, Supreme Master Chinghai urgently advised them to implement vegan law as a solution to mitigate global warming. The letter reads as follows.
Respected COP21 world leaders Paris, my special salute and best wishes to all of your distinguished, honored ladies and gentlemen who have gathered in Paris for the protection of our world. This is just a reminder that just paying money alone cannot save lives, but being vegan does. A lot of evidence and information about this for you to consider are in the book From Crisis to Peace, free online at crisis2peace.org. Countless lives in the present and future, including yours and your children's future, children of your children's are in your hands. Save them by voting for and implementing vegan law to stabilize the climate. Otherwise, lives on Earth will perish and we will be committing a graver offense than all the acts of killing and wars combined. With all love in God, yours most sincerely, Supreme Master Chinghai.
The benevolent Lord Mahavira saved his disciple from a ball of fire thrown at him by an ascetic who had been angered by Kaushalak's insolent behavior towards him, even disrespectfully calling him an abode of insects. Master explained that we should always address sincere seekers of the truth with reverence.
So, turning back, he saw the approaching fireball from the compassionate heart of Shraman Mahavira flowed a spontaneous stream of cool, pacifying energy. When the nectar glands of Mahavira fell on the fireball, it subsided. The angry hermit was astonished to see his fireball dead, extinguished. So he recognized Mahavira as a much greater and more benevolent power than he. So he said, "Pardon me, oh embodiment of benevolence." That is the country of the abode of insects. You see? Yeah, you have to learn manners. Negative words hurt and make people also angry. If they're not angry, at least they feel pain, hurt. So we should be careful what we say, unless really necessary. If not necessary, keep quiet. If we cannot say something kindly, benevolently, beautifully, then don't say anything. If the situation does not ask for, then save it. But this ascetic, he was truly very educated. He was angry then, but he wasn't angry if Kaushalak did not provoke him time and time again and again. He already warned him to stop, he did not stop. So he got angry. But still, he has realization within him. He has spiritual education. So when he recognized somebody greater than him, he addressed him so reverently. That is the way we should always do. So this tapas was really very polite and indeed educated spiritually. You should learn from stories. I'm not just reading to you to entertain you. Every story has some moral lesson to learn from. Remember that, okay? And to improve yourself wherever you lack. We are born perfect, but then we be in the world and contaminated all the time. And it become our nature, second nature. So watch that, okay? Watch it. Try as best as you can. Make people happy.
Most beloved Master, a humble and forever gratitude for your gracious patience, boundless love, and perfect embodiment of purity, kindness, and respect for all beings. May we earnestly practice spiritually and truly learn from your benevolent teachings to be good and worthy citizens of the Golden Age. In God's love, may Master always be in excellent health, protected by the mighty heavens. For the full broadcast of this lecture by Supreme Master Chinghai, please tune in to Between Master and Disciples at a later date.
On Sunday, August the 11th, 2019, our beloved Supreme Master Chinghai lovingly shared precious time with our fellow Kuan Yin practitioners at the New Land in Taiwan, also known as Formosa. She read a couple of short stories from the book about the venerated Lord Mahavira, visited the vegan market stalls at the front of the New Land, and also had dinner with our association's working staff. Our caring master mentioned that her benevolent protectors from Yosuke, or the original universe, imparted a message saying she should rest, yet full of love and kindness. Master still came out to see the assembly of our association members.
What should I do today? They told me 0. 0. Mean just sleep. But I thought you came from such a far away place. Yeah, some of you. And I thought I'd come see you. And I asked them why did they say that, and they told me, quote, because if driven frenzy, Master will lose strength.
We are extremely touched and forever grateful for our most compassionate Master. While we always love to see her, we do pray in all heaven's grace that Master has time to rest when she can. During the lecture, while reading about Lord Mahavira's 6th year of spiritual practice, Master explained that in this world, no matter who we are, we must all deal with karmic consequences.
If we did something wrong to someone, even coincidentally or intentionally, we will reap it. Someday, or some lives, many hundreds or many thousands of years later, it will bear fruit. Even the Buddha, who had been Buddhas for eons already, before he became Shakyamuni Buddha, before he kept reincarnating on this planet to make affinity with other beings, before, he had already been a Buddha. That's what he said. And that's what he was. But still, when he came back, when he reincarnated as humans, he made many mistakes. Either provoked by situation, others, or circumstances pushed him to do that many, many times. And then he had to reap that consequences in other lifetimes. Even Lord Mahavira, in other previous reincarnations, he had done something also not very benevolently to someone else. Probably that someone else, if we look further, long time, far into the existence of all the beings, we will probably see that that being probably had done something to him. And then he, in that lifetime, did something back to him, pushed by inconceivable force of karma that you could not even resist. With all your might, with all your wisdom, with all your knowledge, with all your learned and practiced meditation and virtues, you still had to go with that flow, with the karma. So in this lifetime, even if we are initiated, and even if we meditate a lot, things still do happen to us sometimes, even though lessened to some degree, lubricated to some extent, we still need to bear it. All right? Even the masters, no exception. Even the Buddhas, no exception. More or less, we do have to pay for anything that we incur, any debt that we incur from the past many lifetimes that we don't even remember, or even remember. Remember or not, must pay.
After the lecture, Master visited the vegan market stalls at the new land.
Wow, 感觉好好。还有吗？我自己有这2个而已啊。有，我先给师傅尝尝鲜。我带到那边去 ，OK。
Master also met the borough chief of Sunjiao village, Mr. Guo Zhizhen, who happened to be visiting the vegan vendors and invited him to dine with her, along with some of our association members.
里长，
郭里长，三角里的，
大家好。要不要吃什么东西？我请客。
不用。
等一下继续跟我们厨房一起吃饭，好吗
？OK， 好。
At the dining hall, Mr. Guo made an impromptu toast to Master.
敬各位师兄师姐，很荣幸来到我们贵宝地。谢谢李长，谢谢李长。大家有。
我尽量叫他们好了。
各位师兄师姐哈，师傅大家晚安，大家好。我是三角里里长哈，我姓郭你们这边是石镇里的地址是石镇里的，但是从下面你是石镇一林嘛哈，就是在三角跟石镇这个边缘所在很荣幸跟你们结缘了今天真的不简单，遇到师父他就邀请我进来真的感到很荣幸祝福大家平安快乐谢谢。
我不知道您来，我真的随便跑出去而已。如果您来的话，每个近几天这边都有吃东西，我们都这样吃，所以请你进来这当家人好吗？
是啊。以后各位师兄师姐们多多关照我们三角里真的很高兴你们来这边修行禅坐，这样以后大家都是好邻居好朋友，好不好？感谢各位师兄师姐的热情我真的由衷的感激了那个师父真的很亲民师父真的不错今天你们的伙食也是很好，真的我第一次吃到最好的伙食就是今天
常来嘛近几天才来的，因为近几天才有好的吃。
Master jokingly said.
常来，拜托，随时都有东西吃，就近几天比较丰盛一点。
Many thanks, Mr. Guo Zhizhen, for visiting our gathering place and for your very kind words. Also, our appreciation to the inventive cooking team at the New Land for creating delicious vegan dishes imbued with love and joy. Our heartfelt gratitude to the great Yosuke protectors for always safeguarding our beloved master. Above all, our humble respect and deep reverence for our master. May you be forever loved and only receive the tender divine affection from within the pure hearts of all creation. For the full broadcast of this lecture by Supreme Master Chinghai, please tune in to Between Master and Disciples at a later date.
On Sunday, August 18th, 2019, at the New Land in Taiwan, also known as Formosa, our beloved Supreme Master Chinghai graciously read another chapter from the book about the venerated Lord Mahavira, entitled Deadly Torture of Shangam, to our fellow Kuan Yin practitioners. During the reading, Master expounded precious spiritual advice for our association members, and further explained about dealing with karmic consequences that she mentioned last Sunday.
The thing is, even like I told you last time, no matter who you are, you always have to pay for what you own. Either what you done wrong to other people, or some people has done some favor to you. In this lifetime, you must pay them in some sort of favor or actions. That's the way it is. But why does this have to happen? Why the Buddha, the highest of all beings, why does he even have to suffer some kind of pain or sorrow or trouble? The Buddha had become Buddha eons and eons and thousands and billions of kalpas already. But then he descended into a human form. Or then continue the cycle of reincarnation all the time, until he became Buddha again as Shakyamuni Buddha. During all these times of interactions with other beings on this planet, either in a human form or even in heaven as a heavenly God, there's always actions and interactions between the Buddha or any master with other beings. And these interactions had to be carried out according to plan, just like a theater, like a piece of drama is written so and so. Each one has to play that part, bad or good. Otherwise, you can't be in that play, in that drama. The Buddha, highest of all beings in this world, even if he incarnated as a human, he had to do something wrong, even against his conscience. He had to. He is forced to do that. Otherwise, he cannot be here on the planet as a human being. Therefore, some of the stories in the past lives of the Buddha, he had committed something which is against his conscience. I told you already, forced by the arrangement of karma. The best is not ever to incarnate in this world. That's what I advise you. So go home as quick as you can. Leave this prison and don't come back. If you behave well, I make sure you won't come back.
Master reminded us to meditate more and be fully focused on self-realization.
Meditate more, okay? Forsake everything that you think is unimportant. Do only what is absolute necessary in your family or in the society. Then you will see more than what I can tell you. No matter what I tell you, it's a second hand. It's not your knowledge. You have to earn it. You see how Lord Mahavira had to earn it himself. Despite all this torturing and obstacles, he had to continue. And for you, your life is much better than Lord Mahavira's. You should use your time, precious lifetime as a human being, to realize your true self. So, if you want more experience inside, if you want more realization, you must work hard on it. Don't let the illusionary scenery around you, anything at all, tempt you, distract you, disturb you, or obstruct you. You must really, really, sincerely want it above anything else. Then you will get it. That is for sure. That's the law of the universe. Whatever you want, you will have it, because you have God inside you. So, whatever you want, sooner or later, it will manifest to you. That is for sure. There's nothing that can change that law. So make sure you want it. Make sure you want self-realization. Then you will have it. I promise. So, try to remind yourself, and I'm doing my best to remind you whenever I can. That's what we have to do. One-pointed desire for self-realization. Don't talk about helping other sentient beings, anything yet. Realize yourself first. Know who you are.
Master also encouraged all to do their best to promote veganism and share Supreme Master Television with others.
Please try to spread the good news for everyone. Teach your kids. Begin from your family on. Teach your children to be good, to be vegan. And share your knowledge or whatever you know. Share SMTV to other friends, neighbors, whomever you know, your colleagues and all that. That is some work to do already. And I thank you. We need a lot of hands to make this world a better place. I count on you. And some of you out there, some initiates out there who had no chance to be here today or any day, do your job. The best job is to spread the truth and the veganism to help the world to have peace and to help the animals not to suffer at all, except in the natural course of their lives.
Like last Sunday, Master visited the vegan market stalls after the lecture and met with another local official, this time the borough chief of Shizhen village, Mr. Yang Bingshang, and invited him to have dinner with her and our association members. Mr. Yang gave an earnest speech while at the dining hall.
在这里代表我们石镇里所有里民，谢师傅，谢谢你。真的，我从来没有看过这么高级的宗教，因为你们进来以后，这让石镇里发光发热。尤其你们在这里灵修的时候，完全没有声音，那么多人完全没有声音，在这里做好了我们那个敦亲睦邻的工作，把我们的路。把我们的景山公园修剪得非常非常的漂亮，感谢你，感谢你。
你以后常来，拜托。
好，一定的，一定的。
还有刚才里长要求那个他们邻居的人呢，隔壁邻居的那个他们要买什么就带来就对了。好 ，OK。
这是柚子啦。
任何都可以卖在这里。好，健康食品嘛，没事啊，水果啊，菜我们这边都消化得很快。我们都很荣幸看到我们邻居的都来参观啊，还有那么善良的，我们真的好朋友。OK， 上帝保佑，佛菩萨保佑。好，保佑我们呢。那邻居啊，那邻啊，村啊，乡啊，都平安保佑台湾平安。
谢谢。
Our sincere thanks to Mr. Yang Bingshang for visiting the new land and for your touching words. Most beloved Master, we are forever grateful for your loving reminders and caring advice to help us stay absolutely focused in one direction, the way back home. May Master remain in excellent health and always be safeguarded by the heavenly gracious beings. For the full broadcast of this lecture by Supreme Master Chinghai, please tune in to Between Master and Disciples at a later date.
On Sunday, August 25th, 2019, our most gracious Supreme Master Chinghai comforted, delighted, and inspired our Kuan Yin meditation practitioners at the new land in Taiwan, also known as Formosa, with another illuminating lecture.
Even the Buddha is no longer in the world, but the Buddha is always in the world. His body, physical appearance only left our eyes, our physical perception, but the Buddhas, the saints, never leave us, okay? They are always around, helping us. If we are sincere, then they will help us. Not because they discriminate the sincere one and the not sincere one. It's just because if we are sincere, we will purify ourselves with that determination and sincerity. And then we have no border around us, around our magnetic field. So the Buddha can easily bless us and help us to uplift the Buddhas or the saints. Buddhas mean saints of the highest order in these shadow worlds. They sacrifice everything for us. And they help us all the time, just that we don't know it. And we cannot perceive it because we are blind, deaf, and ignorant. But because we don't see them, mostly we are blinded. blindfolded by our karma, ignorance, or whatever ambition we have. So we think the Buddha has gone to Nirvana. He has gone to Nirvana for sure, but he has never left the world at the same time. It's just the terminology saying that the Buddha has gone to Nirvana, or this saint and Jesus has gone to heaven is not true. Because they are saints, they are Buddhas. They always have compassion and mercy for all beings, the suffering in this world and any other worlds in the shadow universe. So they linger, they left some connection. If we pray to them earnestly, sincerely, without any low motive, for noble purpose, they always respond. So in any situation, when you're really desperate, just pray. Pray to the living Buddhas or the past Buddhas. They all will help. You are never alone.
Master answered a question that was in the hearts of practicing disciples with families about physical relations in a marriage.
The physical intercourse between man and woman, that's one of the methods of practice. But don't try. Only those who have family already then try to limit it. And even if you have to do it, mostly for the purpose of having children for some reason. But even then, sex is not for recreation. Sex is not for physical enjoyment. Sex is not even for love. It's for enlightenment. Truly, it is for enlightenment. God has given us this physical mean, but then many people abuse it. Most people abuse it for self-pleasure. This method hardly can be taught and hardly can be learned. I realized that the other day, a few days ago, that this Sunday I have to tell you. Maybe somebody asking this question at home. Because if they have family, they cannot avoid this. So I thought maybe I give you a little bit more help in this direction. So you don't have to leave your family or even your pleasure, but try to make it into some more noble purpose. Try, at least you try. Just like you practice Kuan method in the beginning, you don't see much, only at the time of initiation. But you're still trying. Trying is also a kind of success, because that means you never leave the path. You're still there. Success or not, heavens will help. You trying, that is the best already. Because in this world, trying is all we can. So even in such a moment, you still remember that your purpose is enlightenment.
Our caring master also read a chapter from the book about the venerated Lord Mahavira titled Refuge to the Demon King, and emphasized the importance of respecting all beings.
The Demon King came and took refuge in Lord Mahavira because they know who's who. This is only the 6th year, half the time of his complete practicing. Even if they are demons, they know who is who. We are transparent. We cannot cheat anybody for long. And even if we can, we will have to pay heavy price for that, sooner or later, this life or the next. The law of the universe will not spare anybody, no matter who you are. It's only the inside that counts, because they know the inside. Even at that time, the Lord Mahavira did not even realize his own self-greatness yet. He's only halfway through. He did not know that he is the Buddha yet. Still, the demons already know and took refuge in him. So the best is that you don't care who is who. Respect everyone. So not all animals are from karma, and not all animals are physical animals. Most of them are from celestial abode. They came down for some purpose, either personally or to help humankind. Even if they don't want to help humankind, their own celestial energy also brought down some blessing to our world. So that's why we must truly respect our animals and any beings that we see. I told you I respect all of you. You know why? Because all of you are Buddhas. Inside, you're God. It's just you have to play your role. I know you are God inside. You have God, nature inside, you have Buddha inside. So whatever role you play, I still respect you. This is just the poison that has been dosed into you to make you forget. But I don't forget. I don't forget who you are, who you really are. I don't mean just you sitting here. Any of the beings on this planet, even trees, rocks, any being at all, we are all playing our part in the evolution history. We will arrive one day. Sooner, later, slow, fast, we will go home.
Our humble veneration and eternal gratitude, most beloved Master, for your loving and sage explanations and advice. We pray to the high heavens that Master continues to be in excellent health, full of strength, and forever protected by the benevolent beings of Vyaska. For the full broadcast of this lecture by Supreme Master Chinghai, please tune in to Between Master and Disciples at a later date.
On Sunday, September 1st, 2019, our beloved Supreme Master Chinghai took precious time to elaborate on the difficult and even unsafe physical method of practice mentioned last Sunday to our association members at the New Land in Taiwan, also known as Formosa. Master had lovingly and considerately prepared notes to further explain.
Last time we talked about its special meditation method, which is very difficult to practice, very dangerous also. Why is that method dangerous? Because you can be stuck in that kind of essential feeling and then be attached to that. Instead of going up, you're stuck there, or going down because of attachment to sensual, physical pleasure, and very difficult to let go. If the physical intercourse between man and woman, you call sex, I'm shy to mention that word. When I first mentioned it, I was really very shy, but somebody asked me about it. I had to put on a brave face and tell him about why, a long time ago, some years ago. But even then nowadays, if I mention that, I still feel very shy. I don't know why. Forgive me if I'm not so brave as you think. I'm not all that brave. I'm not all that very free to talk about anything. It's because I'm your teacher, I have to. But I always try not to mention that if I can. So, if sex is also one of the 84,000 methods to practice, why the Buddha don't ever mention it? He even tell people, try not to follow the lustful temptation, because he knew it's very dangerous. Even if you want to be a teacher of this so-called tantric yoga, you are not safe from danger of addiction to sensual pleasure. I also written here, it's dangerous way because you could be entangled in its powerful pleasure and can't reach your goal or even forget it altogether. In this physical world, sex is the most common yet the most powerful force to reach enlightenment. Very powerful. If you're married or in love, or have boyfriend, girlfriend, you understand what I'm saying. Better not try this. But if you can avoid it, then try the way I have told you last time. the saints, enlightened saints, they have physical contact with their wives only several times a year, just to have children only. And after that, if they have enough children the way they think they should, as the obligation to family, or just to have some children for the parental love for the wife or the husband, they will stop it after having enough children, even though they are still married.
For Master's full explanation on this matter, be sure to tune in to Between Master and Disciples at a later time. Our caring Master also shared an important reminder while reading through her notes.
I wrote here Kuan Yin method, including the light and the sound, is the best for you, best for anyone, because it is our self-nature. Kuan Yin and Kuan Kwang mean listening to your self-nature inside in two forms. The inside heavenly light, which is your Buddha nature or God nature, and another condensed, more concentrated form of light is the sound, which is also your original nature, Buddha nature or God nature. So this method of Kuan Yin, meaning listening to your self-nature, and Kuan Kwang, seeing your self-nature, is the best for you, because it's our self-nature, and our self-nature is Buddha nature, or God nature. When we see our nature, or listen to our inner nature, that means we see our own Buddha nature, our own God quality. Thus, we are one with the Buddhas in all directions. So, because we are one with the Buddhas, one with God, so we will be blessed, even though we haven't completely realized our true, complete nature, but we still are already together with the Buddhas, because the Buddha has this nature. God is this nature also. So if we are with that, then we're safe. We are not with anything else. We are with ourselves. The more we know ourselves, true self, the more we be at peace with all beings and loving to all beings. Of course, because they also have the same nature. They have the same nature as ours, because all beings have this same nature, Buddha nature or God quality.
Towards the end of the lecture, Master gently expressed the following.
I really thank you for all your love. I feel it, and I love it, and I thank you. Thank you so much for your love. I know your love. And this love makes people feel comfortable. Not this kind of attached love or binding love or small love. This is a universal love, unconditional love, and it's very comfortable to feel that. At home, try also to be unconditional. Try to love each other unconditionally. That's the only love we should have, and that's the only love we should give. I know you're nothing, but to do is difficult. Try. Every time you fail, try again until you succeed. We always have to try. Try to live like a Buddha. Even though you are not yet realize your own Buddha nature, try to live like one. Try, at least try. Just think what the Buddha would do in this situation, what Jesus Christ would do in this situation, what other master would do in my situation. Try. And then slowly, you can get it. And if you don't get it, at least you know you try. And you do not feel bad about yourself. I am trying. I'm just human. I'm trying my best. And pray the masters help me. All the masters help me. At least like that. At least you are reminded of something noble, unconditional, as the way you would want to live your life. That's what you want. But you're born in this world is very imperfect, and it makes trouble for you. But you wanted that because it's yourself. You want it to be noble, to be perfect. Try at least. Try. It will make you feel comfortable, feel happier and more contented.
Most gracious Master, please accept our ever-expanding love, prayers, and gratitude for your steadfast devotion to uplift all beings on our planet and beyond. Long live our beloved Master in superb health, peace, always surrounded by the pure of heart. For the full broadcast of this lecture by Supreme Master Chinghai, please tune in to Between Master and Disciples at a later date.